care to tell me exactly what you're doing here? Clearly up to no good. In all my years of keeping heroes from meddling in my business, I've learned a thing or two about the funny little things they try to get away with right under my nose. Seems like you aren't much better than them. Should have learned a thing or two before you decided to cause trouble. Just because the lights aren't on doesn't mean I can't hear you going through my things. Doesn't matter who it belongs to first. It's mine now. It's all for safekeeping. I can't let you have unlimited control like that. You might just abuse it like last time. Start by using the coupons I meticulously cut up for you and go on days they're active. Then you can use the miscellaneous spending account for your specially imported ice cream. That would otherwise cost us the price of the water bill, honey. Until then, the card is mine. I am in charge of shopping. You know, the last time I let you use that card, I had to rework the budget before you got your next paycheck? Want to know why you had to wait an extra week before you can get new earbuds? Because free shipping is free, and expedited is not. Hopefully the ice cream was worth it. Just leave the miscellaneous expenses to me, and you can enjoy what well-deserved treats after a long, hard day at work, without having to spend extra time giving me an aneurysm. I promise you, I can get your stuff for a third of the normal price on the right day, at the right time, with a store discount, and not going through demo mode on the self-checkout, because someone didn't like that last time. Well, if it happens again, you can just blame the force of habit. I'm just getting back at them for that one double charge they made. Serves them right. You know, the trip back and waiting in line for a chargeback ended up being more trouble than it was worth. So I've taken it upon myself to take advantage of anything that makes up for it. No stealing necessary. You've got to know about the hidden bargains they never tell you about. My favorite is going every day to pick up one or two things, scope out the registers for any new employees, preferably one that looks like this is the only place they would have hired them after finishing high school, or just seeing the light of day after a couple of decades in prison. Once you've found them, grab the most expensive piece of produce that can easily be mistaken for something cheaper when you end up paying $3 for a bag of passion fruit instead of $25 because they look just enough like a plum. And if anyone's getting in trouble, it's definitely not me. I didn't hear one complaint from you when I made that passion fruit mousse for you on Valentine's Day. Best I've ever had. Could you make it again for me, love? Of course I would, honey. I even resort to my old ways if it makes you happy. Of course, you're right. If I had changed one bit since you first met me, you wouldn't have said yes when I asked you out. Remember, you didn't marry a hero. Yeah, being retired doesn't mean I'm any less of a woman. Less of the woman you fell in love with. Well, it's not my fault most places don't hire people with several felonies, past actions aside. Yeah, unfortunately, having a history with a grand larceny involving your enemy's military-grade prototype plasma ray gun sends your resume directly to the shredder. Who knew? Anyways, it's best to be the one banking off others' lack of experience with imported produce than being the idiot who gets fired for making that mistake to begin with. Unfortunately, my only other option is bringing in some extra cash, is to start an online career and sell my soul to appease the algorithm. Though unsavory but entirely legal means right up my alley. Okay, I've got enough standards to not selfie pics online. Lord knows there's already some fan blog out there who'd have a field day with those. I mean, I could always get into competitive gaming and then start streaming my outbursts. I'll fit right in with the others. Yeah, I couldn't promise you an 8 hours of sleep with the screaming, the obscenities, the keyboard smashing. How about I make my spouse lunch with me type vlog series where I show off all the cute characters I make out of your veggies. Okay, nope, heroes doxing us. It's a bad idea. Gotcha. Well, I've got nothing else. I don't think you'd appreciate any other questionable methods of helping out with the bills. Yep, homemaking is perfectly fine with me, and probably the best means of maintaining your sanity. Think of it this way. All you have to worry about when you get home is whether your favorite series is getting a terrible live-action adaptation the next season. You'll never have to cook, clean, or pay the bills a single day of your life. That also includes shopping, which I hope you aren't planning on doing without those coupons. Or were you planning on getting something that doesn't have any discounts yet? Like perhaps a meal from one of your favorite restaurants. When we have food at home that I so lovingly prepare for you on this auspicious of evenings. At this most auspicious of evenings. 10-piece combos can wait until the end of the week. New coupons are coming in on Friday. You'd be surprised how much you'll learn from various business practices, their own marketing pages and tactics taking over the daily newspaper to further your own agenda. You get some really nice sneak peeks on upcoming deals. Oh, and some insider info on upcoming events and the new businesses. Remember how I told you I got those free coffee vouchers for the grand opening of that one cafe when we were still dating? You thank my ventures on the hero slander propaganda for that? Well, that isn't to say. I'm still taking part of any recent activities that could warrant your ire. I do have reputable sources for my info. The old crew keeps me updated when we get together on game nights. I found out about the Fridays deals. Well, they had that one article made on hero suits being too reflective, causing more car crashes than villains do during carjackings. I mean, it's true, they came prepared with a crash report data over the last year. Well, it's not like they can just up and retire like me. They don't have a luxury of having spouses with entirely legal incomes to support them like I do. Believe me, they've tried, but you can only get so far with dating apps. You know, under contrary belief, not every villain out there wants to kidnap you if you match with them. They're less keen on having more one mouth to feed when they can barely get by themselves. That's why it's more on the job and approach to find love. Ethics basically means nothing when you're a self-made villain without an HR department. If we had one, I probably would be single. A nice point to remind ourselves that we didn't exactly meet on a dating app. Well, at least we've got a funny story to tell our family get-togethers, so as long as your grandmother isn't around to hear it, she isn't exactly like being reminded about how the other family cookout contributors came in the picture and nearly usurped her. If there's one thing I'm keeping from my old fighting days, is that I will fight tooth and nail to defeat her, once and for all. She can make her famous sweet potato casserole all she wants, but it's my turn to shine this year with the roast turkey. Whether it's superheroes or my own grandmother-in-law, no one is safe from my competitive nature. Especially a restaurant with overpriced food made by workers who don't want to be there, compared with something made with love at home. No one's stopping you from going on a Friday when the price is slightly more reasonable. I even take you there myself, but right now, have some good food made by your wifey. Good for your soul, and that's the most important part. Look, I might not be a shining pillar of goddess of goodness, but I do know a thing or two about love. Oh. Well, love can be redeemed, but it can also make you evil, so pick your poison. Yeah, and you married a villain, so we all know which one you went for in the end.